Okay, so a variety of ways of solving this. This is one of the harder problems. Okay, a helicopter must carry at least. So you're given here 100-pound packages and 120-pound packages. Okay, so I'm just going to call this X and I'm going to call this Y. Okay, and for each delivery trip, the helicopter must contain at least 10 packages, right? So that means the total of X and Y should be at least 10, greater than or equal to 10, right? And then the total weight of the packages can be at most 1100, right? So the X has got 100 pounds, right, each. So you're going to have 100X, okay, and 120Y. So you're going to have 120Y, right? And then you add them, and that's your total weight, right? And it should be at most 1100, right? So you can do something like this. Yes, exactly right. Exactly right, Shami. So that's how you're going to write this, right? Now, how do you solve this, right? They're asking you what is the maximum number of packages, right? Which is 120 pounds, so which is this guy. So 120, so this guy. So how do you solve this equation, right? So a variety of ways of solving this. One way is because you're solving for y, right? Because you're solving for y, you're going to take because you're solving for y, you're going to find out what is y over here. Y is 10 minus x, okay? And you can kind of even take this to be equal and then substitute it over here. Sorry, you're solving for y, so you're going to find out what is x, right? 10 minus y, and then you substitute this right in here, okay? So let's do that real quick. 100 times 10 minus y plus 120y, okay? So that's the hint for you. Now try to solve this problem. Now it becomes super easy. So for people who are having difficulty, try to solve this problem. Again, this is recorded. This session is completely recorded. So it's going to be given to you and you can watch it again, but try to solve this problem now. Okay, so try to solve this, distribute this. So you get, okay. Right, 1000 minus 100y plus 120y is less than 1100. Okay, now move this to the other side. You're basically just solving this equation, right? So subtract 1000, so you get 100 here, and just keep this sign, and this guy is 20y, right? And this way you have 20y is less than or equal to 100, or y is less than or equal to 5. Okay, so that's one way to solve it, right? This is not an easy problem, but that's how you're going to solve it. Okay, this is a very unique problem. Many people are stumped by it, but congrats to you if you understood this. Okay, so with this, let's move on to the next problem. Well done. So well done, folks. Everybody who got it. Kiana, very nice. Rosie, good to see you. Shamini, nice. Salim, excellent. And the other guys as well. Joel, very good. Junor, nice to see you. Excellent. So, okay, so let's move to the next problem now. So again, this problem was a bit complicated. It's sometimes nice to start with a slightly complicated problem, right? By the way, for people who are wanting to know what's going on over here, we are actually solving this test over here, right? This is practice test 9. We finished all of these problems yesterday. We were doing these problems yesterday, and we ended up over here. And now we are at 13, okay? And now we are going to do 14. So let me just get this out of the way, and let's start with number 14. And we should do this pretty quick now. Okay, so I'm going to post this. I'm just going to bring this into this whiteboard, and then we'll start solving it, okay? And this one, guys, you should be able to solve it in less than a minute, okay? So let's see how many of you can solve it in less than a minute. This is pure, yes, Sunor, thanks for reminding. I'll send you. It was late yesterday. I'm gonna send the video today. All right, so try to solve this in less than a minute. This is pure linear equations. There's a starting value, and then there's a rate, the rate or the increase. Okay, well done, Joel, Vlad, Jenny, Ellen, Rosie, Shavini, Ritvik. Great, you guys are doing some good stuff here. Very good speed. Okay, so I'm just going to solve this real quick. What you got to do here, folks, and of course, the new people who have joined in, well done, Kiana. So yeah, Avani, the new people, definitely feel free to join in. Even if you get the wrong answer, it's nice to participate. So what's going on is it's valued at 12,200, right? And then every year is it depreciates by 10 years. So after 10 years, its value is this, right? So so you're going to have, yes, you can eliminate those choices easily. Um, okay, so you can eliminate, yes. Okay, so think about it this way. You got 1200, right? After 10 years, the value will become 30,000, right? So how much has it changed? It's changed by 90,000. Just take the difference of these two, right? 90,000, and then divide it by 10 years, right? That's how much it changes by each year, okay? 9,000. And now what they're saying is this is your initial value, and every year it's depreciating by 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, right? And that means it's just gonna be equal to 9,000 times the number of years you've got. That's T, right? And that's why B is your correct answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next problem real quick. I know this is a bit hurried. Our live sessions are a little bit easier, slower for the newer people who have just joined my bootcamp recently. This one is just, you need to develop that mindset of moving fast, right? We've got about maybe 30 problems to solve. We've got maybe 25-ish now. Okay, so let's do this one now. Okay. Miranda, no, this one is, I made a mistake so the next, so this is the one, okay? So this is it. This is the call. Nothing at 8:30 today, okay? This is the 2 p.m. thing. Okay, so line M in the XY plane contains these points, okay? And find the slope. Okay, guys, this problem, you should get it in like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, okay? I'm giving you the hint, it's right over here. Okay, this is the y-intercept. So where over here do you see the y-intercept to be 1? Okay, that's it, just over here, right? You don't even need to calculate what the slope is. Just keep your eyes out, right, for this. You can do it, Zunor, you're just gonna waste your time. But look over here, 0, 0, 1, right? That's your intercept, and you got it. But yes, you can do rise over run if you want. You can do it that way. You can find the slope. You're gonna your slope is gonna be 3/2. You're gonna y is equal to 3/2x plus b. Then you're gonna find the b to be 1 anyway. But this is the answer because this is the y-intercept. Okay, so let's move on. Yes, that's it. So that's why you gotta keep your eyes out. Sometimes the SAT will try to give you such easy problems. You just need to be very conversant. What is the intercept, right? The intercept. Yes, look at the second coordinate pair. Anytime there's a zero, right, the problem becomes super easy to solve. Okay, so yeah, those are the quicker ways. That's why, that's what I'm showing you over here. Okay, so all right, let's try this next problem over here now. Now this is an interesting problem. Okay, I'm giving you the hint. This should be equal to bx. Okay, that's what this whole thing is saying. This means it's equivalent to bx, means it's equal to bx. Okay, so just foil all of this, okay? And I'm gonna foil this with you and then we're gonna solve it together, okay? So foil this, you get 4ax squared, right? Minus 4x, I'm just doing it my way, plus 4ax, right? And minus 4. And then I'm gonna copy down this also, minus x squared plus 4 is equal to bx. Okay, now -4 and 4 cancels out. So I'm just gonna write this down over here as 4a, and I'm gonna group all of these terms, okay? These terms, so you've got 4ax squared, right? Minus x squared, right? So I'm gonna group these guys together, 4a minus 1, x squared. Okay, and now I'm gonna group these guys together, where you get 4a minus 4, x. Okay, and that is equal to bx. Okay, now they're saying, remember, whenever they say is equivalent to, right, all you got to do is you got to compare the coefficient, of the x squared term. So what's the x squared term? It's nothing, right? So it's 0. Okay, it's 0 right over here. Okay, so that's why 4a minus 1 is equal to 0, right? And the next one is over here, right? So this gives you a is equal to 1 over 4, right? And now the next one is 4a minus 4 is equal to b. Why? Because you compare the x and just compare the coefficients for the x value, okay? So 4a minus 4 is equal to b, right? Now 4a is equal to 1, right? You can plug in a is equal to 1/4, so you get 1/4. So that gives you 1, right? 1 minus 4 is equal to b, right? And so b is equal to -3. And so that's why this is your answer. Okay, so I know this is a bit complicated. Watch this video again. This is actually, we're going to explain this in Monday's session. Okay, this problem is going to be exactly explained in Monday's 8:30 p.m. session, because we are going to look at quadratics and polynomials over there. So if you're having some difficulty, this is the polynomials problem, Jenny. That's coming up tomorrow. We're going to talk about it. If I don't talk about it, remind me. Okay, this is the coefficient comparison. Okay, you're comparing coefficients. I'm going to actually, because I didn't see many people answer this. Let's look at another question. I'm making this up right off the top of my head now. Ax squared plus, sorry, not ax squared, px squared, okay, plus pqx plus 2, okay, is equal to, I'm just making this up. Just stay with me. I think it's going to be helpful for you. Okay, is equal to 4x squared plus 12x plus 2. Okay, and you're asked what is the value of q. Okay, and then we'll move on. So what you got to do is you compare this guy with this. Okay, so you're going to write down p is equal to 4. Then you compare this guy with this. Why do you compare it? Because it's the coefficient of the x term. Okay, so pq is equal to 12. Okay, and so now p is equal to 4, so just substitute inside here, so you get 4q is equal to 12. There's kind of like a system of equations over here going on, okay? And then q is equal to 3, okay? We're gonna do this problem anyway for everybody. You're gonna see the recording anyway, but we're gonna do this tomorrow anyway. You're gonna understand exactly why this happens, okay? But anytime there's a word like equivalent or for all values of x, you're gonna use this method where you compare the coefficients and then write down the equations, okay? So I know we are moving fast because today is not like an instructional set. Today is the set for people who have already gone through this video before, right? Who've gone through these problems before. It's just a review session for them, okay? And for the newer people, it's going to be easier, okay? So great. Thanks, Salim. So glad you liked it, okay? Glad you liked it. Okay. All right, try this one now. Again, combo problem, guys. We've talked about this combo problem. Anytime there's a combo problem, you know what to do, right? Remember what I told you. There's a combo problem. There's a very good chance you can solve this guy much easily, okay? Just add them. That's the hint for everybody, okay? And new guys, everybody who's new, right? This is your first time or second time or just joined the bootcamp. Yeah, participate, right? Even if it's wrong. So the idea here is just add them, okay? Super easy. Don't even have to solve these. Yes, well done, Rosie. So you add them, you get 6w plus 9t is equal to 39. Do you see how this is inside here? It's right in here. It's hiding right inside over here, right? How is it hiding? If I bring out 3, you can factor out 3, you get 2w plus 3t is 39. There you go, right? You don't have to solve any simultaneous equations. You just train your eye to watch out for these kind of equations, right? And then divide by 3. So 2w plus 3t is 13. Boom. That's your answer. Okay, these are called combo problems. Okay, so we did this recently, right? So again, this is like a problem that we've done. I've shown you, but of course, if you're new, then take some time. But you can solve whichever way you want. You can solve the actual linear equations as well. Doesn't matter. It's just trying to save you some time. Okay, so anyway, these problems are directly from the SAT practice tests, right? So you need to kind of like even memorize these, okay? And all of these problems I've kind of like made I've made this sheet for my subscribers, right? Yes, Shramini, yes, glad you like it. These kind of things, right? So this drill has those shortcuts, all of the hints. The hints are right over here, right? So all of the answers, and the answers are right over here. So remember, practice this, okay? It's going to be so helpful. It's 45 seconds only, which was drastically going to improve your score, your speed, okay? All right, so try this one now. The most important part is right over here. You don't really even need anything else. Yes, Joel, I'll send them to you. Okay, actually, Joel, I've emailed you right now, so I don't forget it. Hopefully you receive it. Okay, so this one, okay, this one is, all you need to know is 1 cup, right? Sorry, 1 serving. Super easy. The way they've written it is super complicated. 1 serving. Here, very nice, lad. Helen, Snore, Rosie, very good. So remember, what they're saying is 1 serving is 5%. 1 serving is 5%. So 1 is 5. And then X servings. Just think about it like this. 1 serving is 5. So X serving is how much percent? That's it. That's all it is. 5X. Nothing really to do on it. Okay, and that's why this is the answer. Okay, this is just called as P. So P is equal to 5X, whatever, right? But 1 serving is 5%. X servings is 5X percent, right? Just basic, multiply by X on both sides, and then you get the answer. Well done. Okay, so super easy problem, right? Now let's try the next problem. I think we are going a bit slow. I'm going to speed up a little bit, and we'll see how things work out. Okay, 1 second. Remember, they're asking percent, right? They're asking the percent already. So P percent. They're asking the P. Okay, hopefully you got it, Shamini. Yes. Yes, many people are asking it. It's P percent. If it was decimals, it would be like kind of 0.05x. Okay, but because it's percent, you convert it. So it's kind of like 20%, right? 0.2 is equal to 20%. So the answer is 20 because the percent is given to you. It's weird. I know it's weird, but yeah, get used to it, right? How to convert from decimals. You don't need the decimal really. It's just a shortcut way of doing it. Okay, let's move to the next one. And this one, again, I'm going to show you a super shortcut. Okay, so keep your eyes open, but let's try to actually solve this one first. Okay, and then I'm going to show you how the law of kind of like physics works in these problems. Okay, arithmetic average problems. Something to remember if you can, but you can solve it the traditional way as well. Okay, so let's try it over here. Okay, that's 19. Same passage, same information set over here. I'll give you a few minutes, 1 minute. This is an interesting, challenging problem. Okay. Okay. Okay, well done. Salim, nice. Lad, good. I'll give you a hint, folks. It's a 200 and they're talking about 1 cup, first of all. Okay, 1 cup. And here the serving size is 3/4 cup. 3/4 cup gives you 210 calories, right? So 1 cup is going to give you 280 calories. Okay, that's, you start from here. 1 cup of this crunchy grain is 280 calories. Okay, so crunchy grain is 280 calories. Okay, and I'm just going to write it down to C. And super grain is 240. Okay, so I would think about it like this. Let's say you're on a like a lever over here, right? This is 280 and this is 240, right? And think about a lever over here. The actual is 270, so I'm kind of like putting a 270 over here, right? I'm going to put a 270 over here. So this is 280. The distance from here is 1, and the total distance, and this is 3, right? So this is 4 over here. So the actual answer is just 1/4. Right? Super fast way to do it. Okay, this, if you can remember it. Okay, very easy way to do it. 200 and 240. If you have 200 here and the average is 270, just take the difference. This is 3, 1 and 3, so it's going to be 1/4. But I'm going to show you this is like the super fast way to do it. But I'm going to show you another easier way to do it. Okay, which is our algebraic method to do it. Okay, so that was like a physics kind of way of doing it. Okay, um, yes, I'll explain to you. Let me. Okay, so what's going on over here is, let's say you've got 280 here, right? And this is 270, and this is 240. So take the difference between these two and difference between these two, right? What's the difference here? In ratios, right? This is 10 and this is 30, right? So in other words, it's 1 and 3. Right? So the actual answer is going to be 1/4, 1/1 plus 3. Okay, so that comes from like a physics principle of levers. This has to be 1/4, etc. Okay, so so watch it. It just if you understand the physics, it's easier. But I'm just going to explain some other way, like the more traditional way. Okay, so they're asking you how much super grain is cereal, right? So super grain cereal is X, right? And there's 1 cup, so it's going to be super grain is X, and then this other guy, this crunchy grain, is 1 minus X, right? And now it's easy. All you're going to do is X, and how much is the super grain? It's 240. 240x. Yes, good, Rosie, you got it. So 240x plus how much is the crunchy grain, right? So 1 minus x times 280. And that is equal to 270. So now try to solve this. Okay, so try to solve this. You're going to get 240x plus, I'm just going to bring this over here, 280, distribute this inside, minus 280x is equal to 270. Okay, now you can solve this, right? This is probably the traditional way for most of you, right? 1 minus x, yeah, great question, Jenny. Why is it 1 minus x? Because you're told that if the total, so what's going on? There's 1 cup, okay? And out of that, x is super grain. My bad, I didn't explain this. And then 1 minus x is the crunchy grain. And the total of them, right? X and 1 minus x, the total of them should be 1. Look, x plus 1 minus x is 1, right? This and this cancels out. Okay, hopefully you got it. If you didn't get it, email me, but 240x plus 280 minus 280. So I've written this down. Now I'm just going to subtract this. 240 minus 280 is minus 40x. And then 280 you bring over here, you get negative 1, right? So negative 40x is negative 10. And so x is equal to negative 10 over negative 40, which is 1/4. Right? Gives you the same answer, a longer way to do it. Okay. Hopefully you got it, Jenny. Let me know. If not, then I'll explain it. Remember, it's 1 cup. Okay. In 1 cup, let there be X super grain, and let there be Y. Yes, you need to just practice Y, right? So you can also write it like this: X and Y, but X plus Y is 1. And so this y can be written as 1 minus x, just a shortcut. Like that's how you should be doing it. These problems, instead of writing y, just write x and 1 minus x. So you speed up. Okay. So I know this one wasn't a super easy problem, but but this one is this is word problems. This is word problems, Shamini. So where you have X, right? Word problems is coming up. By the way, this is the word problems is right over here. Okay, so we've solved some word problems like this, where I'll give you the set of word problems. Let me just show you, right? The word problems are so important. Your whole understanding of algebra has to be so strong, no matter what you do in college, right? If you're doing some kind of math related or some kind of science related stuff. So here, this is the word problem set that I've collected, and you first need to solve all of these problems, okay? You need to solve all of these problems. I show you how to solve these problems first, and then we go to the actual algebra of the SAT. These are the SAT tests, right? So, but it's important to understand how to solve the word problem. So that's one of the pieces. This is, by the way, the cheat sheet keeps coming up over here, but that's the word problem. We are right now over here. So we're gonna do polynomials, then we're gonna do geometry, then we're gonna do data and word problems. But okay, so coming back, I think I spent too much time talking about this. Let's solve these problems. These problems are super easy. Some problems are easy, some problems are hard, right? So somebody was asking about time management. If your problem doesn't, if you're unable to solve a problem within 2 minutes, move on. Okay, move on to the other problems. Don't waste time on any problem which takes you more than 2 minutes, right? Especially those long problems, right? Just ignore and move on. Some problems, even at the end, are easier. Okay, let's try this one. Intercept of D. Intercept of D. Why? Intercept means X is equal to, if X is equal to 0, then Y is equal to D. That's it. That's it. If X is equal to 0, then Y is equal to D. Now just plug it inside here, take X to be equal to 0 in each of these and find when the Y is going to be D. Or this guy is just a fancy name for Y anyway, right? It's just Y, 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 Y. Y is equal to this. Well done, Rosie. Well done, lad. Jelly, nice to see you. Shamini, Joel, Miranda, excellent. Okay, just plug in X to be equal to 0. Anytime you see the word intercept, I think Vic is away today, but he said that, right, like that, use your keywords. That's the keyword here, right? Y-intercept is your keyword. As soon as you see this keyword, just X is equal to 0 and Y is going to be whatever they give you, that intercept point, right? So just plug in this and you're going to see if you put X to be 0 here, right, this is going to become -3. So that's out. X is equal to 0 here, this becomes 0, so that's out. X is equal to 0, this becomes 0, that's out. Only when X is equal to 0 here, you get D. 0 to the X. 0 to the X is 1. So that's 1, and so it's D, and that's why D is your correct answer, okay? That's your, I should quickly move along these lines and understand this problem, okay? Now, let's look at this problem. This problem is, again, super easy if you worked on the practice drills that I've given you for data. Super easy problem, okay? Remember, they ask you these problems where stuff is changing. They give you data and the stuff is changing. And they ask you which of these statistical measures is most affected. Okay. Sorry, and they're asking which one remains unchanged, guys. Be super careful. Which one remains unchanged? There's only one thing that's going to remain unchanged. Okay, there's 15 horses. Okay, 15 horses, and the horse with the lowest reported weight is found to weigh 10 less, right? So I'm going to take an example, right? Let's say I'm just taking an example, guys. I don't really know the weights of horses. Let's say the weights of horses is 200 pounds, right? So let's say 200, 200. There's 15 horses, 200, 200, 200, 200, right? All of them are 200. So these are 14, and there's one horse which is like kind of a bit weaker. That horse is like, let's say 180. Okay, so think about all the horses. There's all these great horses. There's only one which is 180, right? So think about it in your mind. Always try to create the simplest situation. There's 14 horses. which have got a 200 pounds weight, and then there's one horse which is 180 pounds, okay, slightly weaker. And now try to solve the problem. Now they're saying this horse is 10 pounds weaker, which means what happens here? This horse is actually 170 and everything else is 200. Okay. So remember, what happens? Does the mean change? Here, the mean would have been something like 195 or something, right? Something like that. But because this guy went even lower, the mean would have gotten lower. So this is gone. Okay. Median, what's the median here? Remember, 15, if it's 15, the median is 15 divided by 2 plus 0.5. And those people who don't know this formula, it's in my cheat sheet. It's in the stuff that I show. 7.5 plus 0.5, 8. That eighth value is going to be somewhere over here. It's always going to be 200. It does not change, right? Even though the last guy is changing, that value doesn't change. That's why this is the correct answer. Okay, it does not change. Not change. It's saying unchanged. Okay, range is going to change clearly. Range changes by 10, and standard deviation also changes. Standard deviation is like one of the rarely asked questions. Okay, so hopefully this is clear. The main point is try to create the problems in your mind, right? Simple. Whenever you have these probability statistics problems, right? Try to think about like the simplest case. Look how I calculated all our 200 and I took 180 as the lowest. And then I kind of moved it lower and you can now visualize it easily, right? Okay. So well done, Shravani, Joel, Jenny, Amni, Rosie. Yes, you gotta be careful. Okay. Lad, Kiona, excellent. Excellent, Ritvik, Shravani. Okay. All right. This is very standard problem. Very, very standard. Easiest problem for statistics. Mm-hmm. Good. Rosie, Ritvik, Miranda, Kiana, Shravani, Jelly, Lad. Well done, well done, well done, Jenny. Well done, Zunor. All right. So all it's saying is like they go to some place, right? And then they're asking some people, and these people are in a very small area, and the whole world is this big. So they're saying, is it representative of this whole world? That's the main question. Okay. This small piece here, is it representing this whole world? It's not. It never is. Okay. So it never does. Okay. So that's why they're unlikely to represent, because they're not a random sample, right? Because they're located in one piece, right? Maybe they're located in New York City, where I am from, right? But they're not like, if they were separately all over the US, right? Then it would be a representative set. Okay, that's why B is the correct answer. Okay, let's move on. Very easy question. Remember, those estimation problems, those experimental design problems are always super, super easy. You just have to think in your mind, what is a random set? What is a random sample? Okay. Okay, let's move on. Does it have? I know what you're asking, Rosie. Let me look at what you're asking, because we moved on. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay. Yes, yeah, it could be possible, but the more important part here, right? And yes, 70 and 20, this is just for Rosie, right? 70 and 28%, but there's like 2%, which is like they say, I don't know, or they're like those people, they just went away. They said they did not care, they didn't answer, right? That 2% of the people, they didn't care what they wanted to do, right? So 70 plus 28%, it's possible, even though it could be like all over the US, it could be 70 and 28%, and the 2% remaining are people who never answered. Okay, hopefully that answers your question. So even if it doesn't add, it's okay, right? Because there's 2% people say, I don't care, right? I don't care. So that's still valid as long as it's in the whole of the US. Okay, all right. Anyway, so Let's look at 24 now. Okay. In this question, the hint is whenever you see fx plus a or 5 or whatever, just plug this guy in here. Okay. So if f of x is 5x squared minus 3, f of x plus a is just going to be, just plug this guy in here. Okay. So it's going to be 5x plus a squared minus 3. Now you got to be very careful. Okay. You're going to have 5. And remember, this is all in my cheat sheet, by the way, this formula, 5x squared plus a squared plus 2ax. Okay, very important formula, minus this. Okay, and then you can distribute this inside. So you get 5x squared plus 5a squared plus 10ax, right? Minus 3. Okay. Okay. So just plug it in here. That's all you got to do. Just take this and put it in here. Okay. Okay, and then you're gonna have 5x squared plus 30x plus 42, right? So there's a variety of ways of doing this. The simplest is just take this and this, compare. Again, guys, this is the comparison concept, right? So whatever the x squared coefficient is 5 and 5, that's fine. The x coefficient is 30, and right over here it's 10a. Okay, so 30 is equal to 10a, and so a is equal to 3. Okay, for people who are having difficulty, I think you should watch this again. Yeah, don't confuse yourself with this, right? If it's f of, look, f of 4 is just going to be 5 times 4 squared minus 3. Okay, f of 2x, all you got to do is you just put the 2x right inside here. Don't confuse yourself over here. Okay, minus 3. Okay, whatever they give inside, just put it in place of x. Okay, and that's a great question, Jenny. Where do I get x plus a squared? That's an important formula. Okay, x plus a squared is x squared plus a squared plus 2ax. Okay, x squared plus a squared plus 2ax. Very, very important formula. Okay. This one. Okay, this is in my cheat sheet right over here. Okay, a plus b squared is a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Okay, a plus b squared is a squared plus b squared plus 2ab. Okay, all of these formulas I think you should memorize. And the more important thing is that it's all in, guess where it is? It's all inside here. It's all inside here, right? Once you start solving this, you can get it, right? Or you can go to the cheat sheet, you're gonna get it. It's all of these things are connected. You just need to solve these problems. But the good question, it's a good question. Many people ask it. X plus a squared is x squared plus a squared plus 2ax. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. So this is, by the way, the what problem is it? This is the cheat sheet, but what problem is this? This was 24th. We're kind of running a little bit late today. Lazy Sunday afternoon here. Okay, so all right, let's try this one. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, let's try this. Just watch this video. For those people who are having this difficulty, watch it again and again, and you'll understand the problems are repeated again and again, guys. That's all. You don't need to really understand it so much as memorizing it. Okay. And this is, again, the well-known co-function property. Okay, this is the co-function property. Again, this is in my cheat sheet. This is in the drills that I gave. This is in the trig. This comes in the trig section of my. Boot camp. Okay, so what is it? If sine of x is a, sine of x is equal to cosine of 90 minus x. Okay, very important thing. That's why it's called the co-function property. Well, co means take the sine, whatever the sine's value is equal to the cosine or cos of 90 minus x. Okay, you just need a co here, and you put a 90 minus x here, and then you're done. Okay. So that cheat sheet is going to be for my subscribers, right? But over here, so I'll give you a smaller cheat sheet but this cheat sheet is for my subscribers, for people who already joined my bootcamp. By the way, the bootcamp is over here. This is the bootcamp, right? This is a 20-hour bootcamp, right? The live instructions. We've got 10 important topics. Then we also do a bonus review. Then we also have these intra session test solving sessions. We also have reading once in a while, right? Like we just started this again. um, the cost of this entire session is just $95, one-time fee. Okay, so for the people who are joining it new, right, it's yes, Marcel. Yes, I forgot to email you. Just if I don't, remind me. Okay, so I know you're my subscriber. You've joined the session, so it's just $95, guys, one-time fee, and you can attend as many sessions as you want. Most importantly, you will also get the recordings. Okay, the recent recordings of all of these sessions, so you can immediately start studying. Right, you get all of these sessions and all the problems. So if you're in a rush, you can do it. Like some people have their test like in like next week, and they've taken it and they've studied and gotten a good understanding. So all of these 10 topics plus tests plus some reading material plus the practice drills, all of this you can get at once, but you just have to tell me and I'll send it. But mostly I would suggest that you join these sessions with me and solve these problems right now. So co-function property, right? So sine x is equal to cosine of 90 minus x, and that's it. Because this is equal to a, this guy is also equal to a, right? And so that's why you get C as the answer. Okay, so co-function property. Let me ask you guys another question. What if sine of 40 is equal to, let's say zero, just as an example, right? 0.47. Then what do you think is cosine of 50? Okay, right? Cosine of 50. It's going to be the same thing, right? Right, exactly right, Joel, Lad, Rosie. Yes, because what I told you right now, sine of 40 degrees is going to be equal to, just take the cosine of 40, 90 minus 40, okay? And that's cosine of 50. Not only does this work for sine and cosine, it works for tangent as well. So tan of 40, or maybe let me take another example, 15 is equal to co-tan of 90 minus 50. Same difference, right? So cotangent of 75. That's tan 15 is cotangent 75, okay? Something like that. So yes, exactly right, Rosie. So secant, cosecant works as well. Exactly right. So that's the co-function property. It's save you so much time. And again, it's all inside my drills, all of the stuff that I'm showing you, okay? All right, so today I think the session's a little bit longer. Okay, so now let's move on. Okay, that's enough. Let's try to solve these problems. Here, okay. All right, so try to solve this one now. All right, well done, Lad, Rosie, Jelly, Advai, Kiana. So this is kind of like, it's starting over here, and then it's kind of fallen over here, right? Okay, so what are they saying over here? The height is equal to x. Here, x is given to be, right, x seconds, right? Clearly, so after x seconds, the height changes. So for one, the second number 0, the height is 10. Second number 1, if the height is, you plug in the 1 inside here, you're gonna get minus 16 plus 100 plus 10, whatever, right? So this is just plotting the time, right? Clearly, it's not the height because it's given as seconds, right? It's just a unit. So height is gone. Time at which it reaches the maximum height, right? And then the time at which the projectile hits the ground, right? So this is clearly the correct answer, right? Okay. Which means it's kind of like cutting it over here, right? When the height is equal to 0. So when the height is equal to 0. Okay, um, so like this. Yes, it's a negative parabola. It's a negative parabola because there's a negative sign here. Great question, Jenny. So if the leading coefficient is negative, it becomes a negative parabola. Okay, if it's positive, it becomes a positive parabola. Okay, because it's negative, it's gonna be a negative parabola. Okay, let's move on. Again, that's coming up tomorrow. These sessions, right? Because tomorrow is quadratics and polynomials. Okay, so all of these questions will be answered. Great questions, by the way. Okay, let's look at this one. Okay, so time at which, hopefully this is clear, the time at which the projectile hits the ground, because this is kind of like the h when the height is equal to 0, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And again, watch the video again one more time, especially if you're new to these boot camps, right? Because we talk in a certain way, and once you get used to it, then things become much easier. Okay, so all right, so try this one. This is a very standard problem. This is like what we call the intercept. The intercept, again, this is going to be covered tomorrow. This is just the intercept method, right? So you got a function, and if it crosses it like this, right, the function can be written as x minus where it crossed and x minus where it crossed. So that's the answer. Okay, that's the hint for you guys. Wherever it crossed, you're going to get it. So it crosses at A and B. So just going to put A and B here. Boom, that's it. Okay, so let's move on. Very easy answer. If you have difficulty with this, watch the video. First of all, super easy. These problems there's a ton of these problems. It's kind of like we're going to cover all of these in detail tomorrow anyway. I'm going to show you how the shortcuts of doing these. Okay, so the videos are for people who already bought the boot camp. By the way, if you join the boot camp, then I can send you all of the videos. Okay, I can send you all the recordings of the videos and the practice problems along with it. Okay, um, but of course you're gonna get this video for sure. Okay, so let's try this one again. I've already given you like the constant, right? They're asking you about the constant, which means this guy. And remember, the constant is very related to the intercept. So when x is equal to 0, what do you think is y? That's the hint for you. Y is equal to how much? When x is equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, all of these vanish, right? It just goes away. So y is equal to 2. That's what they're saying, right? This is like some kind of a parabola. I'm probably drawing it incorrectly, but it's some kind of a parabola here. And then you're trying to find when x is equal to 0, what is y, right? So something like this maybe. Okay, x is 0, this point here, right? This point, this is the origin, right? This point is like the y, whatever this is 2 comma 0, right? So when this constant is actually when x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 2, right? So you're gonna have, that's why C is your correct answer, right? Perfect, so let's move on. Yes, can you delete this, somebody who's writing this over here? Okay, so let's calculate thank you. Okay, so let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle. Again, this problem, these two problems, I think you guys should get it. Okay, for people who have been in the session for in my boot camp, you should. It's just such a complicatedly written question, but this is just a linear equation. Okay, very easy. You know, there are two pieces: the constant and the increase, right? Extremely easy question. So let's solve this one. Linear equations. We just did this recently. Okay, I wouldn't even read much of it. They're only asking you just focus on this number here. I'll give you a minute to solve this. Okay, guys, be careful. Okay, C is not the correct answer. So watch it. Yes. Well done, Joel. Jelly, Shravani, nice. Well done, lad. So what they're saying is it's just a fancy way of writing y is equal to right the constant, sorry, the increase rate, right? This is the rate. Y is equal to the rate plus the constant, right? This guy's in the coefficient in front of the x is the always the rate, right? So y is, yeah, Miranda, sorry about that. This is like the session where we are reviewing it for our boot camps, right? Our regular sessions are much slower, okay? And actually, for people who are new today, right, I'm gonna invite you to Monday's session, okay? So today's is like just a review session. So remind me, for people for whom this is the free session, Monday session is also, you can join in where you'll see it's much calmer. It's easier. Okay. So anyway, this one is y is equal to rate x plus constant, and that's the rate. And this is the rate, right? And that's just basically given to you, right? 0.096. Okay. So each year in between from, right, from all of the sample data, right? The average increase is 0.096. That's it. Okay, the average increase is 0.96. Remember that the one that we've done, the height of a dog is 4a plus 12 or something, right? Every year, the dog's height increases by 4. That's what it's saying. Every year, each year, the average increase in the wage is this guy. That's exactly the question, okay? So if you memorize this one, this should be easy, okay? So with that, let's move on. I know this is fast. I apologize. Yeah, this session is just for mostly for my bootcamp folks who have some experience. Yeah, yes. You don't even have to look at the graph. Well said, Jenny. You don't have to look at the graph. Like, it's just so confusing. It's just unnecessary stuff. I don't know if it's a trick. There's like some people might do it a longer way. The graph is a total, yes, it's, I wouldn't call it a trick, but yeah, the way we're doing it, half of the information is not even needed, right? You can just solve, like look at the keywords and then solve the problems. Okay, so here, right, here you need the graph. Okay, here you need the graph. First, find the slope very roughly. Find the slope, and well done, Rosie. So find the slope and try to eliminate easily some choices, okay? Maybe you can take some points here. Take a point here and take a point maybe somewhere, anywhere you want, right? Or maybe you want to take a point here. Okay, so first find the slope. The slope is the rise over run, or this point, let's take this point to be 20 comma 750. Okay, and then take this point to be 14 comma 550, and then find the slope real quick. What do you think is the slope here? So slope is this minus this over this minus this. Okay, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So that's roughly, it's 750 minus 550 over 20 minus 14, right? So what do you get over here? Yes, you can pick any point. Exactly right, Zunor. You can pick any point. Okay, so that's 200 over 6, right? So roughly 200 over 6 gives you like 33.33. So I'll just take 33. So it's going to be y is equal to 33x roughly, okay, or 33x, or in this case it's t, so 33t plus the constant b. Now just eliminate these two, right? Now all you need to find out is what is the 300 or 84, right? So now what do? You pick this point already, right? Like maybe you picked 750, right? So plug in here, 750 is equal to 33 times 20, right? Again, anytime you see a point on this, you feel free to substitute it inside here, okay? And then find the value of b. Okay, so what do you get? 33 times 20, I'm just using my calculator, even though yeah, I think it's a good idea to use a calculator. 750 plus b, and so b is equal to 750 minus 660, which is 90, right? It's 90. So of course we picked the point, we weren't very careful. So very, very roughly it's 90. And so it's not 300, this is the closest answer. D is the correct answer. So remember, there's only two things here, Zunor. First of all, you need to find the slope. Always find the slope first. So you're gonna, let's say we found the slope here, we found it 33t, and then find the y-intercept. The way you find the y-intercept, remember this and watch this again. First find the slope, then the way you find the intercept is just plugging in these 2 points. Only 2 steps. Find the slope, then plug in a point inside this equation like this and find b. That's it. Right? That's all you need to remember. I always tell people to find the slope first and then find the intercept. Yeah, I wouldn't use that formula. I don't like that formula much. The slope intercept type of formula, right? Point slope form. Sorry, the point slope type form. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that because I always like to use one formula, right? Which is y is equal to mx plus b. This is my favorite formula because you can easily find m and then plug in and find b, and then you're done, okay? The way you find b is always plugging in the answers, okay? So now, wow, we've already, we're running really, really short on time today. I really need to speed up, okay? 31. I'm just gonna solve this now for you guys, okay? Watch this. This is a slightly complicated one, but I'm gonna simplify it for you. Okay, this problem. This is a geometry problem. This is a complicated problem, right? If you encounter this problem, there's a good chance you should avoid it. But I'm going to show you a super easy way to solve it. So read the problem for a quick second. I'm going to give you like 10 seconds to read the problem, and then I'm going to start solving it. Okay, so what's going on here is they're asking you what is the value of k, right? K is this guy. So just, I know this could be a bit challenging, but this is 4, right? This point is 4, this point is 20, right? Now, because of symmetry, this point is going to be right over here in the middle, right? So what is the distance between these two guys, right? This is 4 minus 20, right? So right now, it's now not focus on this one, okay? This is 20 and 4, right? So the distance between these is 20 minus 4, which is 16, right? And so the half distance is going to be 8. Okay, this is 8, right? Now you're also given this radius is 10. Okay, now that's the hint for you. This is a right angle triangle, guys. This is 8, this is 10. So what do you think is this? Remember, the radius is given to you be 10, and this is 8. Super easy problem if you can just figure out this is 8. And the radius, this longer thing is the hypotenuse, okay? You can use so many ways to do it. B squared, right? A squared plus 8 squared is 10, or you can use the 3, 4, 5 triangle. I'm just going to solve it this way. 100, 10 squared minus 8 squared, right? This gives you 100 minus 64, which is 36. And so A is equal to 6, okay? A is equal to 6, and we're done with this problem, okay? How did I get 8? It's take the distance and half it. So 20, this is 20, this is 4, this is 16. 20 minus 4 is 16, right, over here. And then because this whole distance is 16, the half of it is 8. Miranda, I know it's difficult. Yes, yeah, it's because it's your first time probably, right? Just watch the video, but again, you're gonna come, like, if you join the session, like the boot camp, everything will sink in, okay? But this is not an easy problem, okay? Not an easy problem at all, and unfortunately, we have to move on. So if you don't understand it, it's totally okay. This problem is something that most people should not even attempt, okay? It's like a 700 plus kind of a question. And it's not going to be asked again. This kind of a question probably won't be asked again. There's always going to be 3 or 4 questions which are going to stump everybody, okay? All right, let's try this one. This problem everybody should get, okay? Like I said, y is equal to mx plus b. First find m, super easy, and then just plug this to find b, okay? And yx, I'm just going to write this to be the intercept. So what's the slope over here? Okay, this some line has a y-intercept of negative 13, right? And is perpendicular to the line with this, right? Y is equal to negative 2 over 3x. So the slope of something which is perpendicular to this line is you're going to take the reciprocal of this. What's the reciprocal of this? Negative 3 over 2, and put a negative sign in front of it, right? We just did this recently, so it's going to be 3 over 2. right? So the m is 3 over 2. So y is equal to 3 over 2x. And now go find the intercept. The intercept is already given to you guys. It's negative 13, right? So you're just going to put negative 13 here. Now you're told that this point lies on this line. Okay, so what is it? So b is equal to, right? And then you can solve it and get the answer. B is equal to 3 over 2 times 10 minus 13. Okay, so that gives you 3 over 2 times 10 minus 13, right? So 2 times 1, 5. So 3 times 5 is 15 minus 13, and that's equal to 2. Okay, so well done, Joel, Rosie, Lad. Okay, so take a few minutes and solve it. See how you can solve this one. I think we should probably extend the time another 15 minutes and we should be done with this. Thanks for your patience, folks. We're definitely going to wrap this up. Okay, so y is equal to mx plus the intercept. So y is equal to 3 over 2x minus 13. You have x here, right? First, you found out the slope. Remember, the slope is of a perpendicular line. Is you have a line, if it's perpendicular to it, then the slope is going to be you take the reciprocal and you take the negative of it. Okay, here the slope is this, so you take the negative reciprocal, gives you 3 over 2, right? Then you write down y is equal to 3 over 2 x minus 13, right? Because the slope intercept is 13. Then you plug it in. So again, I'm going to give you this superb way of solving pretty much any coordinate system line equation. First, find m, which is your slope, right? Then find the intercept, which is your b. And then if you need something else, right, to find this intercept, maybe you need to plug something inside, right? Plug that data point inside here, etc. Right? So that's how you're going to solve this equation. Okay. Okay, let's look at probability. Again, all of these problems are in the bootcamp. I've explained this in the videos, so you can watch them. But okay, let's move on to this next problem now. Okay, try this problem. Yes, well done, Kiana. Yes, close, Miranda, Rosie, well done, Shavani, well done, Lad, Joel, Ritvik. So remember what you're doing here, right? If there's in probability, there's always this idea. You've got the numerator here and you've got the denominator here. Yes, we're going to explain that right now, Miranda. So so the denominator and the numerator, right? So usually the denominator is the one which is slightly confusing. So, okay, so rhesus factor, right? If one of these people who is rhesus negative is chosen at random, that should be the denominator. So how many people are rhesus factor negative? These many, all of these. Okay, so I'm just going to write down 7 plus 2 plus 1 plus x. 7 plus 2 plus 1, 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 1, 10, 10 plus x. Okay, and the probability that a person has blood type B, right, which means over here, this guy is going to be the denominator. So you can just totally ignore this. This is not even important. Okay, this 2 over this whole thing, right? 2 over this piece here, which is this. And this is given to be 2 over, this is given, guys, to be 1 over 9. Okay, that's given to be exactly right. Exactly right. That's it. And now we can cross multiply it, right? You can do this cross multiplication. You get 18 is equal to 10 plus x. Because 9 times 2 is equal to 10 plus 1, right? And then you can solve for x is equal to 8. Okay, again, this is like a probability that comes in the probability section over here. Okay, all of these scatter plots and probability. So it's super easy. There's only one type of probability question that's mostly asked, and that is this one. Okay, So well done for people who are watching it, and thanks for your patience. We've got a few more problems. Okay, this one is another shortcut type of a problem, okay? There's not much thinking to be done here. Um, and I've shown you. Let me ask you this, okay? Let's say you've got a set of points here, 29 points, okay? So which of these, what's the middle number? What's the middle point gonna be? Can someone tell me what's the middle point gonna be? Like what's the place? Is it the fifth number, 6, 12, 15th? Yes, Rosie, very good. Very good, Kiana. So if there are 29 data pieces here, right? Remember the shortcut is you take 29 divided by 2 and then add a 0.5. That gives you the actual uh, the number which is in the middle. Okay, so this one is 14.5 plus 0.5. Okay, and that's equal to 15. So that's why 15 is always going to be your middle number. So if there are 29 pieces, the 15th guy is going to be your median. Okay, that's going to be your median. Okay, with that information, let's now try to solve this problem here. Okay, try to solve this one. I'm giving you the hint. 29 games means the 15th guy in the middle. Now just find the 15th guy. Super easy. This is 8. You imagine there are eight kids over here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Blah, 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 blah. It's going to be over here, right? So how many of the games played equal to the median number of goals? Okay, be careful. How many of the games played? Not the median. They're not asking you the median. How many of the games played? The median is for sure 2. The median is 2. But now read it carefully. How many of the games played did the soccer team score? So the median is 2, and how many of them are there, right? So the median is 2 for sure. You found the median, and now there's 9. Okay, so the answer is 9. So you see how you can get tricked by this question. But I think most of you understand what's going on. Even if you get the median is 2, how did I get the median, Jenny? I think you might have to watch the video again. You take 29, which is the total number of people, divided by 2, the answer plus 0.5. So I think it's clear to you the 15th guy, right? So remember, you always start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 8 people here. And the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. So the 15th is going to be somewhere over here, right? Or in this region over here. And so the median is 2. Okay. Got it? Okay. One more thing, okay? So let's think about it this way, okay? Let's say you've got some money, okay? So let's say you've got $25, okay? And let's say the total amount of money you have is 400. So what's the percent? What percent is 25 of 400? Can someone tell me? Like, how do you do that? What is the percent value of this? So this is the part, and this is the whole, right? We're going to the next problem. So part over whole, right, times 100, right? So 25 over 400, that's, yes, excellent. Very good, Rosie. So that's 6.25%. Okay, let's say you have 25 out of 400, right? I'm just asking you what's the percent, because it's going to be important, right? The formula for percent is just this. Okay, now we're going to solve a problem with using this same idea. Okay, they're just giving you the part and the whole. Okay, so okay, so look at this problem and see how quickly you can solve it. All these formulas we've talked about before. There's very good. Rosie, Avni, Jelly. Okay, so for people who are having difficulty, what we're doing here is this was the original amount, right? 15,500. And now she realized like this number is whatever this number is, she owes this much, right? Reduce the amount she owes, right? 2325. This number is just how much percent of this? That's what they're asking. This is so useless. That's not important. They're just asking this number is what percent of this? That's it. So how do you calculate this number and this number? How do you calculate the percent? 2325, which is the part over whole kind of concept. Okay, and then if you want to add multiply by 100, you can do that. And that really gives you 0.15 times 100, which easily gives you just 15, right? So 15 is your answer. Well done, Lad, Kiana, Joel, Shamini, right? Okay, very easy question, just written down in a very complicated way. Percents. As soon as you see percents, there's 4 formulas, right? It's all there in the sheet. And I've already spoken to you about like how you calculate percent. This is the part over whole formula, right? Not many formulas are there, guys. All you need to know is you need to kind of memorize the problem. Okay, so let's try this one. I'm going to solve this by myself now. You can just watch it or you can try to solve it, but I'm going to solve this next one because otherwise it's going to take longer. I've got to take care of something right after this session at 3:30. Okay, so it's going to solve this real quick. Okay, so how do you solve this? I'm just going to actually leave this as kind of like a problem for you guys to solve as well. Okay, so what do you do here? It has no solution, right? What does it mean it has no solution? Which means, first of all, it means it has no solution means the slopes are the same. That's all. Slopes are the same. That's it. They're parallel. Yes. So first find this, write it as y is equal to mx plus b, right? So how do you write this? So you've got 3 over 4x minus half y is equal to 12, right? So I'm going to move this to the other side. You've got negative half y is equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 12, right? So you got this. Now you move this guy down. So you have y is equal to, well done, guys. Okay, is equal to negative 3 over 4 over half x plus 12, right? So now negative negative cancels out. So you've got 3 over 4, right, times divided by 2, right? So divided by 2, which means times 2, right? And so that's your slope, right? So that slope is equal to 3 over 2, right? 3 over 2 plus this constant. I forgot an x over here, right? So that's 3 over 2. Now write the slope of this, okay? Just blindly do it, okay? Ax minus by is equal to 9, right? So how do you do this now? You can write minus b. And again, I've explained this in the lines section, okay? Very important thing, and I've explained this to you again. So now you got this. Always write it as mx plus b, right? So y is equal to negative a over negative bx plus 9 over b. This is not important. This is important. This is actually a over bx plus whatever this is. Now the slopes are the same, which means this guy is equal to this guy. So a over b is equal to 3 over 2. I haven't even read the problem yet or the question, but I know a over b is equal to 2. And in fact, that's what they're asking, a over b, right? And that's why the answer is 3 over 2, or you can write it as 3 over 2, or yeah, I think that's better than the decimal. The fractions are easier to write. Okay, so that's a gradient. So yeah, 3 over 2 is the answer. Okay, remember what we did. You write the slope, you find the slope of this, you found it to be 3 over 2. Now you find the slope of this, you found it to be a over b, and these are the same. Why are they the same? That's explained in my lines section, okay? That's explained in my system of equations and lines section. Okay, I promised you, right? This problem is gonna come up. Here it is. Okay, so all the problems, guys, for the bootcamp people, I've shown you the problems. Now all you got to do is watch the video very quickly and like just kind of even memorize these problems. Okay, that's all there is to it. Many of the problems will be repeated. Of course, there will be new problems which you'll have to use your own. You'll have to apply your skills. But many of them, you know, just that's how it is for any test, right? Any test, not just the SAT. You got to memorize, you got to work on the problems that your teacher gives you. Okay, so let's look at this one now. This is very easy. This, I think everybody can solve. I hope many of you can solve this. And we're going to be done in less than 5 minutes, okay? So Wow, great. Superb. Excellent. Excellent job, guys. So I think you're understanding this concept, right? Median is just basically it's already ordered here, right? So all you need to do is find the median, right? There's how many? There are 9 already given to you. You don't even need to count. It's all here, 9. So the fifth one, which is this piece and this piece. So the 2013 is 47.7 and 2012 is 46.4, right? And then the answer is just a difference between them. So this 1.3, and that's your answer. Super easy. Once again, I know for the new people who've just joined my bootcamp, right, it could be overwhelming. Clearly, for people for whom this is the first trial session, that's like, right, don't even think about solving all of these problems at once, right? But you solve these problems with me, and then you'll understand how things work, right? It's just a good way of practice. Plus, you get all of these previous videos. If you want to work on them immediately, if you're super excited, hey, I want to solve this within the next week, regardless of when your test is, yes, you get all the past, I would say past 5 videos. I'll give them to you at one go so you can work on them. Okay, you can just study. Some people are excited and it works sometimes. Like you look at all of them and then you get, wow, this is awesome. Okay, anyway, last problem, guys. This problem. This is a tricky one. I know many of you will get it right and some of you will do it very hastily. Okay, what is 2011? Okay, remember this is our good old is equal to sorry, old times 1 plus the percent is equal to the new. Okay, old plus old times new is equal to the new. Okay, so first find the old value, which is the 2011 value. So the old times 1 plus 0.135, okay, is equal to the new value, which is a 2012 value, right? Because the 2012 is 21% more. Okay, so where is it? Russia's over here. 2012 is 24.7. Okay, and so the old value, guys, is equal to 24.7 divided by this value, which is 1.135. Okay, so 24.7 divided by 1.135. That's 21.7621. Exactly right. Well done. Well done. Well done, lad. Right? That's your old value. 21.7 works. Right? Now you can solve it. So now you can try to solve this problem. Okay. Now it's super easy. Remember, they're asking you the value of K in millions. Okay. So it's going to be a very simple number. Well done, Joel. You got it. Okay. 21.7. Actually, 21.8. You're right. 21.8. My bad. Okay, so you're gonna round it. Okay, so subtract it, right? 21.8. This one is like so 2011 it was in 21.8, and 2012 is gonna be 24.7. So just subtract it, right? Minus 21.8, right? Roughly you're gonna get a value which is very close to 3. Right? They're asking you the nearest integer. So this is not the easiest one. Yes, it's 2.9. I read it clearly. It's 2.9. But remember, if you put 2.9, it's wrong. Okay, if you put millions, it's wrong. They're asking you to the nearest integer. So the nearest integer of 2.9 is 3, which gives us the correct answer. Okay, so the 3 is the answer because they're this very explicit. What is the value of K to the nearest integer, which means it is the nearest integer. So that's 3. Okay, again, so that's the 38th problem, and that brings us to the end of this test. Very nicely participated, guys. I'm going to post this link here for people who want to join this session. The next, you're welcome, Rosie, as always. No, Zenor. The new, how can the new be 2011? The new is 2012. So watch the video again. Okay. So this is the link, guys, for people who want to participate, who want to join the bootcamp. It's $95 one time. Okay. You get much more than 20 hours. 20 hours is the minimum required, right? Like I would suggest. And you get practice problems. You're welcome, Kiana. You get so many practice problems. These word problems, which I've selected, right? All the linear equation problems are over here. Quadratics, tons and tons of problems. The most important ones, okay, which is going to help you, right, to solve the problems, kind of like even memorize them. And all of these, many of these problems, the gist of it, I've taken the gist of it and I've put them inside here. So these are your drills, okay? So these problems are very similar to the SAT, and these are like every time you solve it, it's a different number. Okay, some people were saying, hey, is it the same number? No, it changes. So it's not like you're going to memorize it. It's like a different number every time you get it. There's some study music. You can get the hints, you can get the answer, etc. Right? And plus you get these super drills. So I would suggest, if, whoops, what am I showing? My bad. Not super girl, by mistake I put in something else here. Super drills is what I wanted to show you here, right? So these drills, okay, these are the drills that if you are having absolutely no idea what you should do, these are the drills you should do. I'll give you my login password. You can work on them. There are some other login passwords as well. You work on these problems, something so simple as this, right? Yes, exactly. And I've given this to my subscribers, right? This is for my subscribers. Work on these. You don't need to do much. You don't need to do much, okay? You just have to solve some of these problems, and you can get these and you can solve them, right? Very easy. Cram on it. Like just 1 or 2 problems should take you less than an hour. Once you get this done, then you should actually be ready to solve the real SAT problems over here, right? Right. So I've selected them. No, just solve 2 problems, Ramani. That's it. Just solve 2 problems on the IXL. Just 2 problems per drill, right? This drill over here, right? Just go over here. I'm going to solve this for you. Okay. Just go over here and solve them right? So cosine this, what is sine, etc. Right? So you need to find the answer, click on it. You're going to get the answer, then click on it again, and that's it. Move on to the next drill, because the drill is not what's going to improve your score, right? The drill is just there for you to consolidate everything you know. So that's why it's important. Okay. And then the next piece is, once you get this, then you're ready to actually solve the real SAT problems, okay? All of these problems become easier. You can jump into these problems directly if you want, right? I've got all of these problems, you can jump into them, but I would suggest you do the drills if you have time. If you don't have time, watch the video and solve these problems. If you're really giving the test, you're taking the test on the October 3rd, watch my videos and memorize the videos, right? That's all you can do now. Okay, so cool. So with that, I'll close the session. Thanks, guys. I know this was a longer session, but thanks for your participation. And more people, if you want to join the session, email me at $95. Ask your parents. Parents love this, and I'm guaranteed you're going to get a score, right? So you're going to get a great score. Okay. So with that, I'll close the class. Bye, Jelly. Bye, Shamini. Good night to everybody. Not good night. Have a good rest of the weekend. Okay. Bye. Yes, 8:30 tomorrow, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. All right. Bye.